Hey YouTubers, do you still remember the news about the crime or the news about the murders where the perpetrators were in a sadistic way? How someone with full awareness has the heart to do such a sadistic thing? Could he be a psychopath? And what is the meaning of a psychopath itself? Psychopath is not the same as crazy or schizophrenic, because a psychopath is fully aware of his actions. The symptoms themselves are often referred to as psychopathy. Sufferers are often called crazy people but without mental disorders. According to research, about 1% of the world's population suffers from psychopathy. People with psychopaths are difficult to detect because about 80% more are on the loose than those languishing in prison or mental hospitals. Sufferers are also very difficult to cure. In criminal cases, psychopaths are identified as murderers, rapists, and corruptors. But this is only 15 to 20% of the total psychopaths. The rest is a person who looks perfect, is good at speaking, charming, has extraordinary charm and is fun. The meaning of psychopaths here is not only people who commit cruel murders. But the meaning of a psychopath itself can also be interpreted as someone who makes efforts to fulfill needs by sacrificing other people without the slightest sense of guilt. So that these psychopaths are very dangerous wherever they are. Psychopaths are really hard to predict, and they're almost like most people. But as time goes by, the nature within them or the monsters will surely show. And without many people knowing. Here's a list of 5 signs of a psychopath. Flattery. A psychopath is usually good at playing words that make you interested and feel comfortable at the beginning of your first relationship or the first time you interact. Because they are psychopaths, they tend to be friendly, warm, and polite at the beginning of their introduction. Anyway, very charming at the time of the first impression. And looks charismatic. At the beginning of the meeting, usually a psychopath will continue to throw flattery or praise. If you think you are fat, he will say, "No, I really like your body." Or when you feel you're wearing clothes that don't fit, he'll say, "I really like the clothes you're wearing." This phase is called the love bombing phase. With flattery and make you as comfortable as possible to stay close to him, the psychopath. Because of his intelligence to process words and provide comfort, many people easily believe him. So if you are good at flattering and say something nonsense, you could be one of the psychopaths. Mirroring. Mirroring means not looking at mirrors often, but he is a psychopath who will convince you that you are both soulmates. Because you have a lot in common, he will try to like the things you like too. If you had a very tough childhood, the psychopath will also say the same thing and will say, "I understand how you feel. I've experienced the same thing too." Usually a psychopath has no real identity. He, the psychopath, simply mirrors in quotes or reflects himself to his victims. So you who pretend to have a lot in common with your girlfriend, is questionable. Thirst for attention. A psychopath will always make himself pitied or noticed by his target or potential victim. A psychopath will tell you something heartbreaking about himself and his life that seems full of suffering. For example, his family is evil, ostracized from society, bullied by his friends, was hurt or disappointed by his partner, or related to physical health, or he would also tell if he had a broken bone, a car accident, or even had a dangerous disease such as a tumor or cancer. Yes, his life seems to be very miserable. So try to pay attention to what he says. If he often tells about the sufferings or difficulties he has experienced in his life, or talk about past relationships, so be careful, you could be the next victim. Impulsive. For a psychopath, there is no time to consider the good and bad of what they will do. And they don't care what they've done, or think about the consequences of his actions in the future. For a psychopath, there is no time to consider the good and bad of what they will do. And they don't care what they've done, or think about the consequences of his actions in the future. A psychopath tends to be explosive and spontaneous. Sufferers will also be easily triggered by anger over small things. Young people react to disappointment, failure, criticism, and easily attack people over trivial things. Manipulative. Manipulative and deceitful. Psychopaths often display dramatic emotions, even though they don't really mean them. They also lack the physiological responses associated with fear, such as sweaty hands, palpitations, dry mouth, tension, or body shaking. It does not apply to psychopaths. Psychopaths don't seem to have any fear because they don't pay attention to the things that usually scare people. Because psychopaths are often referred to as cold, calm, and expressionless. Well, the state of a person who is antisocial tends to be associated with a psychopathic personality. But there is a difference between psychopathic and antisocial personality. The difference is indicated by the intensity. Psychopathic personality lasts continuously, from childhood to old age, while the antisocial personality is shown at certain moments. The psychopathic sufferer is usually a man, but it is possible for women to suffer. That's the video this time. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. See you in the next video.